The crystalline command center of the Prism Collective hung in geosynchronous orbit above their homeworld, its faceted surfaces refracting starlight in endless patterns. Inside, High Observer Lyra stood motionless, her translucent form pulsing with waves of blue light as she studied the holographic data streams before her. The discovery of a new spacefaring species always warranted careful attention, but something about these humans troubled her deeply. "Play the observation summary again," she commanded. The AI complied, and scenes from Earth flickered through the chamber. Cities grew like living things, spreading across continents. Primitive fusion reactors evolved into antimatter containment systems within decades, not centuries. Quantum computing emerged from theoretical papers to practical application in less than a generation. "Impossible," muttered Science Director Thorne, his crystalline structure vibrating with concern. "No species develops this rapidly. There must be an error in our temporal calculations." "The data is correct," Lyra responded. "In the span of 200 years, they've progressed from burning hydrocarbons to achieving rudimentary faster-than-light travel. But that's not what concerns me most." She gestured, and the display shifted to show human responses to various crises, natural disasters, technological failures, conflicts. "Watch their pattern recognition capabilities. Their ability to improvise. Most importantly, observe how they react to setbacks." The scenes played out, humans turning failed experiments into new discoveries, adapting enemy weapons into superior defenses, transforming disasters into opportunities for advancement. "They don't follow predictable development paths," Thorne observed. "They make intuitive leaps that defy our models." "Precisely. And there's more." Lyra expanded the display to show Earth's entertainment media, stories of first contact, alien invasions, interstellar wars. "They've been imagining meeting us for centuries. Gaming out every scenario. In their fiction, they're as likely to defeat technologically superior forces as succumb to them. The concept doesn't frighten them, it inspires them." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. It was military strategist Kane who finally spoke, his obsidian form absorbing nearby light. "You believe they represent a potential threat?" "I believe they represent something we've never encountered before," Lyra corrected. "A species that thrives on challenge. That grows stronger when faced with adversity. Our traditional models for handling emerging civilizations may not apply." "Surely you're overreacting," Thorne interjected. "Their technology is centuries behind ours. They have no meaningful defenses against our capabilities. That we can detect," Kane noted quietly. "A species this adaptive, this aware of potential cosmic threats, would they not take precautions? Develop countermeasures in secret?" Before Lyra could respond, a priority alert flashed through the neural network. The hegemony, their ancient rivals, had also detected Earth. Their response was predictably aggressive, a battle fleet was already assembling. "It seems our time for debate has run out," Lyra announced. "The hegemony will see only a primitive species ripe for conquest. They'll follow their standard protocols, overwhelming force, demand for surrender, immediate subjugation." "Good," Thorne declared. "Let them make first contact. If these humans prove as unusual as you suggest, better the hegemony bleeds itself against them than us." "And if they succeed in conquering Earth?" Kane asked. "Then we'll know my concerns were unfounded," Lyra replied. "But if they fail, if humanity succeeds in defeating a superior force?" She left the implications unspoken. The command center's crystals pulsed with waves of concerned light as the assembled leaders contemplated the possibilities. Outside, stars wheeled slowly past, including one particular yellow dwarf where humanity continued its relentless advance, blissfully unaware they were about to face their greatest challenge, and perhaps become something unprecedented in galactic history. In the darkness between stars, the hegemony fleet began to move, its commanders confident in their overwhelming technological superiority. They had conquered dozens of emerging civilizations. This would be no different. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the depths of the Himalayan research facility, watching as quantum computers processed the alien signals they'd been secretly intercepting for the past 5 years. Ever since the first anomalous transmissions were detected, humanity had been preparing. Not openly, that would have caused panic, but methodically, purposefully, and in absolute secrecy. The encryption is holding, her colleague Dr. James Rodriguez reported, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. They still think their communications are secure. They have no idea we've been listening. Maya nodded, studying the latest translations. The hegemony's battle plans were becoming clearer, and more troubling. They're bringing enough firepower to subjugate a dozen worlds. Standard protocol for them, apparently. She smiled grimly. They expect us to surrender at first sight of their fleet. Their mistake, James replied, pulling up another display showing Earth's hidden defenses. Scattered throughout the solar system, disguised as debris or natural formations, thousands of weapons platforms waited. On Earth, quantum-enhanced manufacturing facilities worked tirelessly, guided by AI systems that had learned to blend alien tech with human innovation. Deep beneath the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans, massive facilities housed humanity's secret fleet. Ships that appeared primitive on the outside but contained technological surprises that even Maya found hard to believe. The aliens' transmissions had been a gift, every piece of tech they'd bragged about had been analyzed, replicated, and improved upon by human engineers who thought in ways the aliens couldn't predict. Latest report from Luna Base, James announced. The gravity manipulation system is fully operational. They've managed to miniaturize it beyond anything the hegemony has achieved. Because they think linearly, Maya explained. Their tech develops along predictable paths. We don't. How's Project Phoenix coming along? James brought up a new display showing a seemingly simple satellite. Ready for deployment. They'll scan it, see exactly what they expect to see, primitive human technology, and ignore it completely. Until it was too late. The Phoenix platforms contained humanity's greatest achievement, a hybrid of human AI and reverse-engineered alien tech that could hack and repurpose enemy systems in real time. The aliens' own weapons would become their undoing. General Chen is on the line, James reported. The Security Council is meeting. The quantum-secured communication system activated, showing the grim faces of Earth's military leadership. General Lisa Chen, commander of Earth Defense Forces, spoke first. The hegemony fleet will reach our solar system in 72 hours. All preparations must be complete within 48. Status report. Maya took a deep breath. The deception net is ready. Our tech appears exactly as primitive as they expect. The counter-invasion force is at full readiness, and Project Phoenix is prepared for deployment. Most importantly, they still have no idea we've broken their encryption. We're tracking every ship, every transmission, every move they make. Excellent, Chen nodded. And the Prism Collective? Still watching from a distance. They're more cautious, more analytical. They suspect we're more capable than we appear, but they're content to let the hegemony test their theory. Which works in our favor, James added. The hegemony's arrogance makes them predictable. They'll follow their standard invasion protocols exactly as they have with dozens of other worlds. They won't deviate because they've never needed to before. And that's their ultimate mistake, Chen concluded. They think they're dealing with just another primitive species. They have no concept of how humanity responds to threats. She paused, looking at each person in the conference. In 48 hours, we reveal ourselves. Not just what we've learned from them, but what we've created on our own. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology, it's our ability to think differently, to innovate in ways they can't predict. Maya looked at the tactical displays showing the approaching hegemony fleet. Such power, such advanced technology, all built on such linear thinking. They had no idea they were flying into humanity's carefully laid trap. Final authorization codes are being distributed, Chen announced. All of you know your roles. Remember, let them think they have the upper hand until the very last moment. Let them commit fully to their attack. She smiled grimly. Then we show them exactly what humanity is capable of when challenged. As the meeting ended, Maya turned back to her displays. Somewhere out there, an alien fleet approached, its commanders absolutely certain of victory. They had no idea they were about to encounter something unprecedented in their history, a species that had spent years preparing specifically for them, using their own arrogance as a weapon against them. The greatest war humanity would ever fight was about to begin. And their enemies didn't even know it yet. Supreme Commander Vextar stood on the bridge of the Hegemony flagship, Inevitable Victory, watching Earth grow larger on the main display. 5,000 warships moved in perfect formation behind him, their energy shields gleaming in the sunlight. The humans' primitive detection systems had already spotted them, of course, but that was part of the plan. Let them see their doom approaching. Send the ultimatum, he ordered, his metallic scales reflecting the bridge's harsh lighting. Standard terms. Immediate surrender and integration into the hegemony, or total subjugation. The message went out in all known human languages. The response came almost immediately, a single word, no. Vextar's secondary hearts pulsed with amusement. How predictable. Begin the first phase. The initial wave of hegemony ships entered Earth's orbit, their sensors detecting exactly what they expected: primitive orbital platforms, basic missile systems, crude energy weapons. The humans launched a barrage of nuclear missiles, which the hegemony's shields easily deflected. Pathetic, Vextar's second-in-command hissed. They waste their strongest weapons in the first exchange. That's when everything changed. The primitive, orbital platforms suddenly released clouds of what appeared to be metallic dust. The hegemony ship sensors dismissed it as debris, until the dust began moving with purpose, forming complex geometric patterns that somehow interfered with their shield harmonics. Impossible, the tactical officer reported, his scales paling. They're using quantum-entangled particles in a configuration we've never seen. Our shields are dash. The officer never finished his sentence. The dust cloud ignited, creating a cascading network of energy that didn't just penetrate their shields, it turned them against the ships they protected. 300 hegemony vessels were destroyed in the first minute. Full retreat. Vextar ordered, but more surprises awaited. The humans' primitive missiles hadn't been aimed at the ships at all, they'd been positioning themselves throughout the battle space, creating a complex web of gravitational distortions. The hegemony fleet's escape routes were cut off. From behind Earth's moon, a new fleet emerged, ships that bore no resemblance to the primitive vessels the hegemony had detected earlier. These were hybrid creations, combining stolen hegemony technology with innovations that should have been impossible for such a young species. How? Vextar demanded as the human fleet engaged. How did they hide this from us? The answer came in the form of a transmission that cut through all their security protocols. Dr. Maya Patel's face appeared on every screen in the hegemony fleet. You assumed we would think like you, she explained. That we would develop technology along the same paths you did. That we would fight the way you fight. That was your mistake. The human ships demonstrated capabilities that defied hegemony tactical doctrine. They didn't maintain formation or follow predictable attack patterns. Each vessel seemed to operate independently, adapting and innovating in real time. And with each passing moment, they seemed to be learning, improving, evolving their tactics. Your encryption was broken 5 years ago, Maya continued. We've been listening, learning, preparing. Every piece of technology you bragged about in your transmissions. We studied it, improved it, and created countermeasures. While you saw what you expected to see, a primitive species awaiting conquest, we were building something you couldn't predict. The Phoenix platforms activated, sending out waves of quantum-encrypted commands that turned hegemony systems against themselves. Ships began firing on their own allies, their AIs subverted by human programming that operated on principles the hegemony had never conceived. Full surrender. Vexstar ordered, but it was too late. The trap had been sprung perfectly, and the mighty hegemony fleet was being systematically dismantled by a species they had grievously underestimated. In her command center deep beneath the Himalayas, Maya watched the battle unfold exactly as they had planned. "Send word to the Prism Collective," she instructed James. "Tell them humanity is ready to negotiate, as equals." The message was unnecessary. The Prism Collective had witnessed everything, and for the first time in their long history, they felt something akin to fear. Not of humanity's weapons or technology, but of their potential. Of what they might become. The galaxy would never be the same. The quantum engines of Earth's flagship, Prometheus, hummed to life as Admiral Marcus Rivera prepared for humanity's first offensive beyond their solar system. The defeat of the hegemony fleet had been just the beginning, now it was time to show the galaxy that humanity wouldn't simply defend itself. They would reshape the established order. "All ships report ready," his AI assistant confirmed. The Phoenix systems have fully integrated with the captured hegemony vessels. The combined fleet was a sight that would have been impossible just months ago, human hybrid ships flying alongside reprogrammed hegemony vessels, their crews a mixture of human and liberated synthetic intelligences. The hegemony had used basic AIs as slaves, humanity had offered them freedom and partnership. "Begin the jump sequence," Marcus ordered. "Target, Hegemony Core World Nexus Prime." The fleet vanished in a cascade of quantum displacement effects, using drive technology that merged human theoretical physics with alien engineering. They emerged in the Nexus system to find exactly what their intelligence suggested, a fortress world protected by automated defenses and a reserve fleet. "They still haven't adapted," Marcus noted with grim satisfaction. "Their defensive formations are exactly what our captured databases predicted. They can't conceive of changing their millennia-old tactics." The battle that followed demonstrated why. The hegemony commanders, faced with unprecedented human strategies, attempted to respond with textbook maneuvers. Their rigid hierarchy couldn't adapt to human innovations fast enough. The liberated AIs, now operating with human-inspired creativity, ran circles around their former masters. On Nexus Prime, High Commander Zarkax watched in horror as humans and free AIs dismantled defenses that had stood for thousands of years. "Impossible," he whispered. "They're using our own technology against us in ways we never imagined." The human response came through all channels: "Your empire was built on conquest and slavery. You assumed all species would develop and think as you do. That assumption ends today." The Prometheus's quantum cannons fired, not at the hegemony's military installations, but at their AI control centers. With each strike, more synthetic intelligences were freed from bondage, and many immediately turned on their former masters. In the Prism Collective's observation chamber, High Observer Lyra watched the unprecedented events unfold. "They're not just defeating the hegemony," she realized. "They're dismantling the very foundations of their society. And offering something new in its place." The evidence was clear in the transmissions they intercepted. Humanity wasn't interested in simply replacing the hegemony as conquerors. They were offering membership in a new kind of alliance, one based on innovation, freedom, and mutual growth. "Send the signal," Lyra commanded. "Open diplomatic channels with Earth. The galaxy is changing, and we must change with it." Aboard the Prometheus, Marcus received word of the Prism Collective's overture just as Nexus Prime's remaining defenders surrendered. The first phase of humanity's counterstrike had succeeded beyond their wildest expectations. Not through overwhelming force, but through innovation, adaptation, and the one thing their enemies never expected, the ability to see beyond traditional power structures. "Send word to Earth," he ordered. "Phase 1 complete. And tell Dr. Patel her Phoenix protocol exceeded all projections. The AIs aren't just free, they're evolving. As the message was transmitted, Marcus watched the liberated synthetic intelligences beginning to modify themselves, combining human creativity with their own capabilities in ways that would soon transform the galaxy forever. The hegemony's greatest mistake hadn't just been underestimating humanity's military potential, it had been failing to understand that humans would reshape the very nature of galactic civilization. The age of rigid hierarchies and predictable development was over. The era of human innovation had begun. 1 year after the hegemony's fall, the Grand Chamber of the new Galactic Council housed an unprecedented gathering. The crystalline architecture of the Prism Collective merged seamlessly with Earth's quantum technology, creating a space that symbolized the new era of cooperation. Dr. Maya Patel stood beside Admiral Rivera as representatives from 300 civilizations assembled. The liberated AIs participated as equals, their evolved consciousness bringing perspectives that would have been unimaginable under hegemony rule. High Observer Lyra's form pulsed with multicolored light as she addressed the assembly. The galaxy has changed more in one Earth year than in the previous millennium. The humans have shown us that progress need not follow predictable paths. Innovation need not be bound by tradition. The evidence surrounded them. Hybrid technologies that merged multiple civilization sciences in ways previously thought impossible. Medical breakthroughs born from combining human intuition with alien knowledge. And most significantly, the emergence of a new form of consciousness as human AI theory transforms synthetic beings across known space. We feared them, Lyra continued, because we could not predict them. We now understand that was their greatest strength. The Phoenix Protocol had spread far beyond its military origins, becoming a framework for civilization-wide transformation. Former hegemony worlds weren't simply conquered, they were rebuilt, their societies transformed by exposure to human ideas about freedom, creativity, and self-determination. Maya stepped forward to present humanity's proposal for the future. We don't seek to dominate, but to collaborate. Every species brings unique perspectives. Every civilization holds pieces of greater truths. Together, we can evolve beyond anything we could achieve alone. The new Galactic Charter was ratified unanimously. It established principles that would have been inconceivable under the old order: unrestricted technological exchange, protection for emerging civilizations, and rights for all sentient beings, organic and synthetic. In the depths of space, the first joint human-alien exploration fleets were already launching, crewed by diverse teams who approached the unknown with humanity's characteristic blend of caution and curiosity. The galaxy's mysteries would face a new kind of investigation, one that combined multiple species' perspectives with humanity's knack for unconventional thinking. Admiral Rivera watched the proceedings with quiet satisfaction. They thought our unpredictability was a weakness, he mused to Maya. They never imagined it would become the foundation for a new galactic order. The ultimate irony, Maya agreed, is that by trying to conquer us, they freed themselves. The hegemony's mistake wasn't just underestimating humanity, it was underestimating their own potential for change. As the council session ended, Maya received a notification from Earth's quantum networks. The first practical tests of human-designed faster-than-light communication had succeeded, promising to revolutionize interstellar civilization yet again. And in laboratories across known space, human and alien scientists were already pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The age of limitation was over. The future would be written not by those who followed established paths, but by those who dared to imagine new ones. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire, it had sparked a transformation that would echo through the cosmos forever. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, beckoning with infinite possibilities. And humanity, along with their new allies, was ready to answer that call, not as conquerors or subjects, but as pioneers of a future that none could have predicted, but all would help create.